Thank you, Mike. Welcome to Ames Jack Trice Stadium, the only FBS stadium in the nation named after an African-American. We got a Big 12 battle here as the 17th-ranked Iowa State Cyclones take on the Baylor Bears. Let's take a look at the Big 12 standings. And Matt Campbell's Cyclones sitting at the top, just the second time in program history. They're at 4-1 in the conference. Baylor near the bottom. Well, Matt Campbell and the Cyclones trying to go 5-1 for the first time in program history. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside my partner, Robert Smith. And Smitty, it's been a while. We're back, brother. Yeah, let me give you some of that.
We're back, right? Yeah, give me a little bit of that.
Hey, so is Matt Campbell and these Cyclones sitting atop the standings. In large part, they continue to feed the beast, Breece Hall, the nation's leading rusher.
Yeah, he's been tremendous, and you can hear Joel in studio talking about him. He has all the tools that every great back has. He has the vision. He has some breakaway speed, great with his patience. But what I've seen him add to the game this year is this effortless shiftiness, this shake. He gets great little spin move, very tough to get a clean hit on him, and he has really learned the blocking schemes much better and knows where the blocks are coming from and how to turn 5-yard gains into 50-yard gains.
He's run for 185 in his last 2 games. Meanwhile, you've got Baylor, who's dropped 3 straight. And if they're going to turn things around, they got to rely heavily on the arm and legs of Charlie Brewer.
Yeah, and of course, Charlie Brewer second all-time in passing at Baylor, only behind RG3. But remember, he led the team in rushing touchdowns a year ago with 11 and has 18 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 years. Now, this Iowa State defense, they force you to be patient, have to be careful, driving the ball downfield, but he's going to see a lot of 3-man fronts. And if everybody's covered up downfield, those legs could really come into play today.
You know, Baylor hasn't fared well against ranked opponents. They've lost 13 straight, trying to turn that around tonight. It's Cyclones, the Bears, the kick when we come back. Welcome back to Ames. Brian Custer, Robert Smith, rules expert Dean Blandino's with us. Folks, we got great football weather here in Iowa. 63 degrees, clear skies, wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour. This should be a good one. 19th meeting between these squads. Baylor leads the all-time series, but it's Iowa State that has won 2 of the last 3. Baylor won the coin toss, but they've opted to defer. So Iowa State will get the football first. There's Dave Aranda, first season at Baylor, 1-3. You know, he's former defensive coordinator, of course, at LSU, where helped them win the national championship. Also Wisconsin before that. And then Matt Campbell, now in his 5th season here in Ames, has the 2nd best winning percentage of any Iowa State head coach. You know, he's the first coach to lead Iowa State to 3 straight winning seasons since Earl Bruce, who did it back in 1976-78. Buckeye fans know about that name.
Oh, yeah, they know that name because he headed to Ohio State after that run at Iowa State.
Noah Rauschenberg will kick things away. Kene Nwangu back deep. He's first in career kickoff return average at Iowa State, averaging 26.9 a return. And he has it from his own 3. Powers his way across the 20. And this is where we'll get our first look at this Iowa State offense in Brock Purdy. And here is the junior. You see, look, the numbers down from what we've seen last season, but a lot of that is because Breece Hall has just been phenomenal for this squad.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They really haven't needed him to throw the ball a great deal, but here you can see, starting off with empty, maybe we'll get a little bit of motion back into the backfield.
Now Hall joins him alongside. And it's Breece. And he's got himself a first down. You know, you talk about this Cyclone offense leads the conference in rushing the football. Breece Hall averaging 150 yards a game. Purdy quickly as a flag on the play. That was complete to Xavier Hutchins. Hutchinson with the catch, but there's a flag. Scott Campbell is our referee. He'll give us the call.
Offside, number 34. Defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Ashton Logan. We take a look at the Baylor defense, third in the conference, led by Terrell Bernard and Jalen Petrie. And up front, William Bradley King.
Well, King's a name really to watch tonight, the transfer from Arkansas State. The guy's got a great motor, great acceleration, couple sacks on the year. He can wreak some havoc in opposing backfields.
Purdy escapes, throws downfield, and intercepted. Kalen Barnes comes up with it. Their best cover corner has a broken thumb and comes up with the turnover, and that's exactly what Baylor needed.
Yeah, Baylor needed a quick start, but you can see as Brock Purdy tries to escape in the backfield here, getting away from Dylan Doyle. He just doesn't have enough on this one. Skates had his man beat, but has to try and fight back, play a little defense on this one, but isn't able to keep Kalen Boogie Barnes from making the pick, even with the club. How about that right there? That's actually Skates helps him catch this one. Watch this. Skates is actually going to push his hand against the chest of Barnes on that one. Helps him bring that thing in.
So here comes Charlie Brewer and the Baylor Bears. Craig Squirrel Williams in the backfield. He gets the call. And Squirrel is loose. Hasheem Young makes the stop. And Charlie Brewer, the senior. Second in Baylor history in passing yards. 9-yard pickup for Squirrel. And he gets the call again. And dropped by Mike Rose.
That Mike Rose wasn't having it that time. They call him Squirrel for a good reason. Of course, he got that nickname, chasing around squirrels, when he was just a young lad. But you can see how quick his feet are. But Mike Rose caught him right in the middle of that cut right there. Took him right off his feet.
First down, you know, Baylor's had problems with their starts. They have been down a lot to their opponents, and that's what Coach Aranda said. We need to get off to a very good start here and stop getting in a hole. Here's Brewer. Steps up and throws. He's got a man open. Caught. Atkinson down the sideline. Big play for Baylor.
Atkinson with reception. Brewer looking throw.
And you can see Atkinson sneaking all the way across the formation. Now, this is an interesting defense that they have here at Iowa State. 3 safeties, and that's really the only way to be able to produce big plays like that. You have to be able to sneak a receiver across the formation. And, of course, the protection is key. Got to have time to deliver the ball.
62 yards. That one, the Squirrel, he runs right into a wall. Take a look at the Baylor offense. You know, this is just the second time this season that offensive line, the starting offensive line from Baylor's been intact. COVID has just wrecked that offensive line.
And of course, offensive line, that's a position group that really requires continuity.
Here's Brewer. He'll take off. Cuts back and slide inside the 10-yard line. 7-yard pickup. For the Cyclones, 4th in the Big 12, led by Mike Rose and Hummel. And that secondary, it's always Eisworth and Hasheem Young. 3rd down coming for Baylor. Ebner in the backfield. Brewer looking to the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown. R.J. Sneed. The junior out of Cypress, Texas, with the touchdown, and Baylor strikes first.
Exactly what this Baylor team needed. Remember, fell down to TCU a week ago, 30-0. Nice job there. Brewer anticipating where Sneed was going to come open as he clears the linebacker level. Safety's nowhere to be found. Great start from Baylor Bears.
The extra point is good. So Baylor gets an interception thanks to Boogie Barnes, and they turn it into points. Brewer, Sneed, Baylor, 7-0 Sickle. Fox College football is powered by Ram trucks, built to serve. 7-0. Our score here in Ames as Baylor goes 6 plays and 89 yards thanks to the interception by Kalen Barnes. Baylor forced 30 takeaways last season, most by any Power 5 program, and that's something that Coach Aranda said his team needed, and a good start. They got both of them here early.
Think about the psychology of a football team. Again, going back to a week ago, down 30-0 to TCU. They get a turnover right before half, get a touchdown, but come out in the second half and really start slowly. They had like negative 26 yards early in the third quarter. Weren't able to get anything going, but they believed. They fought back. They ended up a little bit short, but you can see coming on the road today, came out with a lot of emotion, came out making some big plays. Let's see if they can continue to do that.
4th interception of the season for Brock Purdy. Johnny Lang in the slot. That's him in motion. And they get him the football in space. 8-yard pickup for Lang. Boogie Barnes with the stop.
Nice call there by offensive coordinator Tom Manning. You're going to see a lot of 3-man front, some 4-man front. You saw a lot of pressure on that last play, but they got the ball to the perimeter. They got some good yardage.
Brees Hall picking his way. It looks like he's about a yard shy of a first down. That's the offensive coordinator there for Iowa State, Tom Manning. The black hat.
And you got the sense in talking to Tom Manning, even he was a little bit surprised about Brees Hall. Like, yeah, we knew the guy was good, obviously, but he's really shown some great things to everybody this year.
Yes, he has. And he's powered his way to a first down. For Iowa State, Christian Morgan makes the stop for the Baylor Bears.
Woo! Christian Morgan came up and made a stick on that one. And obviously, Brees Hall is going to be the focus of this defense all day long. Watch Morgan come flying into the screen right there. That's the type of intensity they're going to need, but a nice job there by Brees Hall. Following those linemen, finishing forward.
We'll get a breather. Name Nwangu replaces him in the backfield. Purdy to the outside. Sean Shaw with the catch. 3-yard pickup for the Cyclones.
Purdy's got to get that ball up to Shaw. He gets that ball out a little bit earlier, a little bit higher. Shaw's able to make a clean catch, make a move on the corner right there. Purdy has got to get that ball up higher. Here you can see Shaw, 6'6", having to go onto the grass blade tips to make that catch.
Purdy again steps up, he takes off. Couple of yards shy of a first down. Ashton Logan makes the stop. 5-yard pickup for Brock Purdy. We saw earlier when we showed you, he's averaging about 212 yards a game passing. He was throwing for 300. It seemed like every game last year. What do you think? Is it just Breece Hall? Is that the biggest difference?
I think it really has been Breece Hall. But here you can see multiple tight ends in the game right here. Something to watch for all day long. The way that they use these multiple tight end sets.
Here's Luongo. And he's across midfield. 6-yard pickup, 7. Give him 7. That's a first down for Iowa State.
Nice push here by this offensive line. Here you can see number Chase Allen getting himself into the front. We had Kohler in there, the other tight end. Nice blocks. And Nwangu, he's a burner. You see him on kick returns as well. But you can see, nice job leaning forward there with the pass.
Breece is back, and he gets to the outside. And he's got a first down and more.
Talk about the effortless running from Breece Hall here. Just very subtle steps. Gets to the outside, and again, so effortless and so hard to tell how hard this guy is working. Nice little stiff arm right there. Deceptive runner. And again, he has done such a great job learning the structure of the offense, knowing where his blocks are going to come from, when he can keep it front side, when he can turn back, and he's been able to produce a lot of big yardage out of that this year.
Charlie Kohler in motion. 14-yard pickup for Breece. He's got 29 now. He's got it again over that left side. 3-yard pickup. And as a squad, Iowa State averages about 200 yards rushing a game.
Offensive line doing a nice job getting up into the second level, keeping guys off of Breece Hall. Really takes a team effort to produce those long runs. It leads the nation this year. 4 runs of 50-plus yards. You can't get things like that done. You don't have just your offensive line, and of course your wide receivers blocking as well. You can see Charlie Kohler again lined up outside of the box. Watch the lineup of the big tight end.
At the bottom of your screen, that's what they're looking for. He's got the catch and a first down for Iowa State. 15-yard pickup by Charlie Kohler.
Such a dangerous player, and you get him removed from the line of scrimmage, trying to create mismatches in the secondary. Such a big body. Purdy does a nice job firing that one in there to him.
Again, that one over the middle and broke it up. He was looking for Joe Skates.
Raleigh Tejada in there on that play, gets there just about at the perfect time not to get the flag. Nice play right there, timing that thing up really perfectly. Tejada, one of 14 players on this Baylor squad that have already graduated. Baylor, of course, known for its reputation as being an excellent school. Those student athletes doing a great job there at Baylor.
11th play of this drive coming right now. And it's Breece and Hall. 5-yard pickup. Now, as Iowa State here, they'll mark this one at about 13, 14-yard line. You know, Brock Purdy has been more than efficient when you're inside the red zone. I mean, this guy has no turnovers at all when they're inside the red zone. Look at that, 43 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles, no nothing.
Trying to give the announcer's curse here. No, he's done a tremendous job protecting the ball. Of course, when you got a guy like Breece Hall and that last run right there, maybe just hand it off to him again.
Purdy over the middle and intercepted. Tejada down the sideline and pushed out of bounds.
This one is caused by an inaccurate throw. Looks like Allen kind of slips as he's coming out of the route here. So that throw was just a little bit wide there by Purdy, and that's why that record was so impressive. 43 trips and no turnovers. One inaccurate throw like that. Allen's not able to make the catch, tips it up into the air, and Tejada, Johnny on the spot, able to pick that one off.
57-yard return, and Baylor back in business again. Another interception. From the Iowa State 36. That one over the middle to Drake Dabney. And a first down by the Bears.
And of course, Dabney in there. Ben Sims not available for today's game. They've been raving about Dabney. They're able to get that ball. Does a nice job sitting down in the soft spot of that defense in front of that third level with the safeties, but behind the linebackers.
First career catch for the freshman. The draw. Squirrel. Brought down at the 20.
Ryan Vance going to come in here to make the play. A little bit of a delayed draw action right here. Let everybody get upfield. Squirrel tried to evade Vance, but Vance did a nice job cutting out the legs of Squirrel on that one.
He's got it again. Saw that explosiveness. He hit that hole. Mike Rose makes the stop. But he's maybe a yard shy. And Squirrel, 9 carries, had 82 yards and a touchdown last week against TCU. Picks up 7 here.
Yeah, he's explosive. Had the 32-yard touchdown a week ago. And you can see how fast he hits the hole. And that's really something that's been missing from this Baylor offense this year as well. Have not been running the ball consistently.
And he gets the call again. That looks like he's got enough for a first down. No John Lovett for Baylor, who got injured against TCU last week. He didn't make the trip. So you will see a lot of Craig Squirrel Williams, Tristan Ebner, and even a couple of freshmen for Baylor today.
And a nice job there on the 3rd and short. That's a question when you have smaller backs. Can they tote that rock in those 3rd and short situations when the line is crowded? Squirrel did a nice job there.
From the 12. Here's Brewer. He keeps it. He's brought down inside the 10, 3-yard pickup. Rose and Anthony Johnson makes the stop. It's Coach Aranda trying to make do without the senior John Lovett, Ben Sims. Hey, look, Ben Sims had a heck of a day. He was going, supposedly would have came into this game with 4 straight games with a catch, had 4 catches and touchdown against TCU.
2 touchdowns in that game against TCU. Yeah, they're looking to use him as a target, but that's been par for the course this season. Uncertainty.
Here's Brewer looking to the end zone. It's got to be a touchdown. Drake Dabney, the freshman, with his 2nd career catch, and it's a touchdown.
Very similar to what we saw on the first touchdown pass. Clears that linebacker level. This time he's able to beat Lawrence White. Nice job again by Charlie Brewer, anticipating where that window was going to be, throwing it behind the shoulder of the linebacker. Nice job, Charlie Brewer.
6 plays, 36 yards, another touchdown for the Bears. It started with this 57-yard return by Riley Tejada off the pick, and Brewer to Dabney, and it's the Bears up 14-0 in the first. 14-0. Our score here in the first quarter as Baylor, 6 plays, 36 yards they go, and Dabney, you see him, the freshman, 2nd career catch is a touchdown, and Baylor up 14-0 over Iowa State, both off of 2 interceptions. Nwangu and Brock back for the Cyclones. When we come back, another look at Brock Purdy in that offense after the Baylor defense doing their thing. You know, there was no winner last week, so this Sunday, Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another chance to win $1 million of Terry Bradshaw's money. You can play for free right now, so download the Fox Bet Super 6 app and make your picks for Sunday's games. You got a shot at $1 million. On on the season, Baylor outscored 34-10 in the first quarter. Boy, they've certainly outdone that. 14 points they've put up already. Here's Purdy from the pistol. He's going to give it to Brees Hall. Jalen Petrie makes the stop. Brock Purdy, 3 of 6, 2 interceptions. And, of course, first time in his career he's turned the football over in the red zone.
We've seen a lot of great play out of Brock Purdy. We had an opportunity to watch Iowa State call their 5 of their games a year ago. I'm sure he's not panicking right now. He knows that he has some weapons. Just has to be more careful with the ball.
Here's Hall. Baylor talking about swarming to the football.
Remember, we know what kind of defensive mind Dave Aranda is. And they do some interesting things with their defense. A little bit of this simulated pressures, some creeper looks, and what they're doing is they're getting 4-man pressures and still covering up on the backside with 7 defenders. So watch here on 3rd down if we see one of those unconventional pressures from this Baylor defense.
That was Ron Roberts, defensive coordinator of Baylor. You just saw. Here's Purdy. Plenty of time. That's incomplete. Kalen Barnes, he has been everywhere. Everywhere. And Boogie making plays left and right, the senior.
And you're going to see Terrell Bernard on this one. Late pressure. He's going to stay back, wait until all the linemen are committed, and then get the rush. Almost gets up and bats that one down. That's what you're going to see a lot from this Baylor defense. A lot of unconventional things going on. It's kind of one of those, what they call the green dog. They see that all the protections covered up, and they bring Bernard late. Make sure that Purdy has to get rid of the ball earlier than he wants to.
First punt of the night, Joe Rivera. This is Tristan Ebner. Brought down at the 21. So Baylor, another opportunity, 49-yard punt. They're up 14-0.
Point. Probably having a little bit of dinner or something right now.
I'm sure he's watching. 14-0. Baylor up. And here's Squirrel. Bounces off a Cyclone and turns nothing into something.
Boy, and Squirrel makes Mike Rose miss in the hole here. Got those little strides like that. Nice little jump cut to the side. He kind of shook Mike out of his shoes on that one. That's what makes those guys so dangerous.
Brewer feet rolls out, looking, throws towards the sideline. Intercepted, but was he in bounds? Tavon Kyle came up with the pick. Yes! Interception, turnover. And that's what the Cyclones needed.
Kyle does a nice job breaking on this ball. We'll see if he actually kept those feet in bounds. We're going to see on the replay here. See Brewer rolling out. Kyle recognizes it.
Oh, that's interception, yeah. The left foot was in.
Nice job.
He was looking at Yusef Terry. There's that left foot. That's good.
Of course, on those rollouts like that, cutting off half the field, cut off the options, but Charlie Brewer's got to be smarter. It's not just knowing what the capabilities of your receivers, but you got to know what the limitations are or aren't for the defensive backs. Nice break on that one by Kyle.
Brees Hall. Give him about 3. Dylan Doyle makes the stop. Doyle, of course, the transfer from Iowa. And that's the last play of the first quarter. It's been all Baylor Bears here in the first. A couple of turnovers have turned into 2 touchdowns for the Baylor Bears. They're up 14-0. Second quarter when we come back. Getting ready to start the second quarter here in Ames. A couple of turnovers by Iowa State, and Baylor have turned both of them into touchdowns. 14-0 our score, but the Cyclones gotten the turnover of their own and now looking to strike.
The tight ends lined up wide, brought them both back into the formation, and now bring Dylan Sainer into motion. Got 3 tight ends in the game right now.
Here's Purdy. He'll keep it. And he goes down. Terrell Bernard came flying through there to make sure he goes down. Hey, look at this. Matt Campbell, look at what this team has been like in October compared to November. Just 500 in November, where they always shoot off to a great start in October. And this is something Coach Campbell said that he has been thinking about all summer long.
Well, I think this year it's a little bit different because, you know, season started a little bit later, so maybe they don't think about it in the same way. But, yeah, I think you just take it one game at a time, and that's what we see from Matt Campbell. Talk about being the best version of yourself.
To the outside, it's Akers. That's a first down. Barnes with the stop. 11-yard pickup.
Akers is a guy that they really want to see more of in this offense. They motion him out. One of the fastest players on the team. Big special teams contributor. Came into the game tied for the lead receptions at 17.
Yeah, had a career high 6 catches last week against Kansas. Here's Nwangu, bounces it to the outside, running hard. Christian Morgan makes the stop, but Nwangu close to a first down. That's an 8-yard pickup.
Picking up on some of those moves that we've seen out of Breece Hall. You're going to see he's going to get to the edge, and the little jump upfield, getting skinny, getting vertical, and a nice job. Nice tough run. See dragging Christian Morgan on that one. Nwangu, excellent run there.
Breece Hall checks back in from the 19. Here's Breece to the outside. The beast is loose. Touchdown. Cyclones. 14-yard touchdown run by Breece Hall. He has scored in every game this season.
Could have been a loss on this play. Watch the move he puts on Mark Milton there in the backfield, able to get to the edge. Nobody sets the edge for that Baylor defense, and that's what makes Breece Hall so dangerous. The initial move to elude Mark Milton, but the speed to get to the edge. Again, a deceptive runner. Doesn't look like he's going that fast, but nobody had the angle to catch him before he got to the sideline.
Extra point is good, and all of our scoring has come off of turnovers. Watch this. He's like the Migos, and then gets to the outside. Breece Hall, 14-7 our score. (14-7) our score. All of the scores have come off of interception. Breece Hall with a 14-yard touchdown run. Leads the nation in yards per game at 150. Most 100-yard games, 6 of them. Most yards, 50-yard runs. He's got 4 of those already this season. I mean, this kid has been a beast when it comes to toting the rock.
It's just so fun, too. It's one of the greatest parts about this job, seeing guys fresh out of high school, then you get an opportunity to see them develop, and that's what we've seen from Breece Hall. Just effortless, poetry, smooth.
60 yards he's got rushing already, averaging 6 yards a carry, right at his average on the season. Dapping up some of his linemen. So here comes Charlie Brewer. Last possession through that interception that led to the Cyclone touchdown. Got trips at the bottom of your screen. And Brewer rolls, throws, and that one's caught.
Speed, just snags that one out of the air. Brewer a little bit late on this throw, a little bit high, a little bit outside, but Snead does a nice job going up and snagging that thing. Fingertip catch. This man can play. That's how you get number 0 right there.
Yeah, right.
That's how you demand number 0 with catches like that.
20-yard pickup. They give it to the squirrel, and he's quick. Cuts it back. And dropped at the 49. Tavon Kyle makes the stop. 4-yard pickup, and the squirrel is hurt. And that's something that Baylor doesn't need. Without question, the most explosive young man on this offense. Quickness. Saw how he planted that left leg.
Yeah, and as a guy that's been through a few knee injuries, to get a really nasty move like that, I hate to see the non-contact ones. Hope he's going to be okay.
Freshman Squirrel Williams being helped to the tent. You see he could not put any pressure on that left leg. Big blow for Coach Aranda. Already without John Lovett. So now Tristan Ebner will tote the rock. And Brewer keeps it. Falls forward. Will McDonald brings him down. Give him about a yard. 3rd down coming for Baylor.
Ebner is a very talented athlete in general. 2 kickoff returns, a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown in the season opener against Kansas, and he catches the ball well out of the backfield. See if he's going to be an option here on this 3rd down.
Cyclones show like they're bringing pressure here on 3rd down. Rose and Vance. They step back over the middle, caught. That's enough for a 1st down. Yusuf Terry. And we got a little fracas. A little pushing and shoving, that's all.
Terry with the interception. Rose with the tackle and the flag.
Here comes Scott Campbell. They threw a flag here to explain it.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 73, offense. The line to gain was made. Moving back 15 yards, 1st and 10, Baylor.
That's on Jake Burton.
Boy, and they love Terry. Nice freshman wide receiver. You can see Brewer did a nice job.
Here's Burton here. You saw that with that hit.
Yeah, a little bit of chip. We saw a little bit of chippiness, absolutely unnecessary, coming in, hitting late, hitting from behind. We saw a little chippiness in pregame. Refs had to separate some players before the game.
Here's Brewer going deep. He's got a man and overthrows R.J. Snead. Snead had 2 steps on Tavon Kyle.
Boy, just a little bit too much on that one, and Snead so dangerous. And we said, not always going to have a lot of opportunities against this defense with the 3 safeties back there most of the time. Wasted opportunity right there for Charlie Brewer and Baylor. You're not going to get many looks like that.
Ebner in motion. Brewer. Flushed, throws, knocked away. He's looking at Terry.
He's fortunate not to get that one intercepted by Anthony Johnson. Dangerous throw right there. Got to lead him more on that one. forces him to slow down. Johnson going full speed, does a nice job getting in front of that one. Just couldn't complete the catch.
Sophomore still down.
That landed funny on his knee on that one.
See as they work on Johnson. I think the good thing, for Baylor, as we take another look here. Walked off on his own. I think the good thing, if you're Baylor, that they've got to be somewhat pleased with was their offensive line. That was their big concern coming into this game, what their offensive line would be like.
Yeah, and we talked about this, the different combinations that they've had to have up front because of COVID issues on the year, and then conditioning. Those guys, even when they were back last week, had to shuffle them a little bit. A lot of time right there, and the other thing that encourages you, if you're a Baylor fan, you had some space, had an opportunity right there. Charlie Brewer's got to leave Terry a little bit better with that throw, but they're going to have some downfield options now.
And there's another one to Sneed, and it's a first down.
Sneed matched up with Kyle again on this one. And these guys, you see them making the back shoulder throws a lot. And that's one of the things with COVID. You didn't have the opportunity in the offseason to work on the timing between the receivers and their quarterbacks. Not a perfect throw right there, but a nice catch again by Sneed.
Brewer to the outside to Gavin Holmes, and he's pushed out of bounds.
Gavin Holmes, great story. Coming off of 2 ACLs over the last couple of years, getting back into the lineup.
He lost a yard. So 2nd and 11. And we got a false start here.
False start, number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Hasn't been a good series for Jake Burton.
No, he's going to hear it. I may not hear the yelling from Dave Aranda because that's not his style.
Right.
Ron Roberts, or excuse me, Larry Fedora, the offensive coordinator, may hear a few high-volume words from him on the sideline when he gets there.
2nd and 16. Brewer, quarterback draw. Trell Bankston. Wazarike with the stop. Give him a 2-yard pickup. 3rd down coming. Hey, Baylor's been good. They're 4 or 5 so far on 3rd down.
Yeah, well, this is 3rd and 15, not the easiest. This is a question is, are you really going to be in 4-down territory here? And if you are going to try and go for it on 4th down, you just try and cut this thing in half, try and get 6 or 7 yards, not try and get all the way to the sticks.
Brewer, the draw. And that bottled up. Wazarike, 4-yard loss for the Bears.
Well, this is what defenders are taught on this type of down and distance. Watch the screen, watch the draw. It's a nice job bottling that one up, showing the emotion. Nice to have some fans in here. The last game we called didn't have any fans in the stands, and of course it's not the full capacity, but a lot of energy here tonight.
Yes. State protocols, restrictions, 25 caps it at 25%, so 12 to 14,000 here tonight. Eisworth back. Oh, look at that. He fell into a touchback. I'm going to say a great play there by J.T. Woods, but it's a touchback. 46-yard punt. 14-7 our score here in Ames. (14-7) the score here in the second quarter. Brock Purdy, Cyclone offense. Purdy with 4 completions and 2 interceptions.
2 of the tight ends lined up, split away from the line of scrimmage in this formation. Interesting to see how they use him. Keep him out. Big guys out there, 6'6 plus.
Here's Hall. 3-yard pickup. Terrell Bernard with the stop.
That's good on good right there. Breece Hall and Terrell Bernard, the best offensive player and defensive player, respectively, for Iowa State and Baylor. Colliding on that one. You'll probably see that 10, 15 more times tonight between those two. Nice matchup.
Last possession for the Cyclones was for a touchdown. You saw the first 3 were basically disastrous. Purdy. And they got mixed up there. The signals crossed between Sean Shaw and Purdy.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be the case right there that Purdy thinks that Shaw's going to continue upfield, head to the corner on that one. Shaw saw something from the coverage, made him think that he needed to stop on that one.
So 3rd down coming for the Cyclones. 3 of 5 so far.
And here it comes. You're going to see those pressure looks. Again, Ron Roberts, the defensive coordinator. They like using these creepers. Little twist.
That one picked off, and it's a pick 6 by Jalen Petrie. He's their biggest playmaker in the secondary, and he comes up with an interception and takes it to the house, 30 yards.
Excellent job by Petrie on this one, but the reason that you bring the pressure isn't just to get home, it's to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand a little bit sooner than he wants to. Accelerate that thought process. That's exactly what happened right there. Purdy couldn't process that fast enough. Petrie gets a nice break on the ball, able to get the pick 6. Excellent job all the way around defensively for Baylor.
Extra point is good. Baylor has put up 21 points, all of them off of turnovers and interceptions, like that one. This time, it's the junior, Petrie. 21-7 our score. (21-7) our score here in Ames. You know, the first 4 games here going into this game for Baylor, their defense had 3 interceptions. They've got 3 already in the first half here, and all of them have led to points for this Baylor offense. Rauschenberg will kick things away. Nwangu back deep for the Cyclones. That's going to cost you, and here we go. A couple of guys pushing.
Well, we're going to see Petrie go in motion here with the tight end. And after the snap, you're going to see you've got 5 rushers, but you've got 6 protectors
Kick out of
if you
bounds.
include the running back. But Bradley King on the edge, the transfer from Arkansas State. Watch him use the club, get into the face of Purdy, force him to throw that ball a little bit early, and Petrie is right there for the pick 6. Affect the quarterback. Even if you don't get home, sometimes you can knock that ball down. Sometimes you force a bad decision. That's what you had right there from Purdy.
Baylor kicked that football out of bounds, so they got the penalty, and now Purdy and his offense will start at their own 35. Look at the numbers, 4 of 10, 3 picks for Purdy. Came into the game with 3 interceptions on the season. Here's Breece Hall. Terrell Bernard, as you talk about good on good. And I would think if you're Iowa State, let's just run the rock.
Well, if you're Iowa State, run the rock. But what you're seeing from defensive coordinator Ron Roberts from Baylor is they are really setting those edges hard. They want to make sure that Breece Hall has to stay up in between the tackles because there's too much flexibility if he can get to the edge. That's the beauty of those zone stretch plays, is the flexibility it gives the running back to cut back or to go outside. They don't want that. They do not want Breece Hall on the edge of their defense.
Purdy down the sideline, and we've got a flag. Mark Milton was trying to cover Xavier Hutchinson.
Pass
And we
interference.
saw Milton.
37. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
We saw Milton get beat deep earlier. Hutchinson, junior college transfer, the speedster. Team lead coming into this game and catches. Got great position, got on top of Milton on that one. Milton just a little bit too much contact, and I think if Hutchinson stays up on that one, maybe they don't even throw the flag, but because of the contact and then Hutchinson falling before the ball got there, they're going to throw the flag every time.
Here's Hall. Spins, hit, and driven back. Again, Baylor swarming to that football.
Pursuit, it's 1-2 for a defense, playing with a lot of emotion, and it really hasn't been a problem.
Progress was ruled. Second down.
And they really haven't been the problem for this Baylor team this year.
They tried to strip that football away from Breece Hall, but they say his forward progress had been stopped right there.
Yeah, that's tough. And you get your feet caught up. You got about 5 or 6 people around you and trying to hang on to that football.
Here's Ron Roberts, defense coordinator.
And Ron Roberts was the head coach at Delta State, and Aranda was his defensive coordinator there. Now the positions have been flipped.
That one's complete to Kohler. And it should be enough for a first down. 10-yard pickup.
That's exactly what this Iowa State offense and Brock Purdy, quite frankly, needed. And those guys are the security blanket. We talk about those tight ends. Kohler, Allen, and Sainer, all 6'6+.
Here's Hall. A couple of those snaps so far have been high. Purdy's done a good job of snagging it with one hand.
And we saw again on that play, Bradley King. And this is the technique that they're being taught on the edges. Get upfield, force Breece Hall to cut the ball back. Allow the cavalry to rally to the football.
3 tight ends as Hall goes out in motion. Empty set for Purdy and the Cyclones. Quickly to the outside. Sainer.
It looked like Milton, who was in coverage on the outside there, just kind of slipped coming out of his break. Sainer had plenty of room on that one.
Another first down. Now the 25 of Baylor. This is from the pistol. Another high snap. Hall got it and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, Jalen Petrie.
Petrie
on that pick 6, and good play there.
On the corner blitz, you're going to see him coming off of the edge. He's going to be on the backside of this play. And they love bringing that run blitz. And again, they are trying to keep Breece Hall from getting to those edges. Now, that zone stretch play, Petrie coming on that type of blitz, it works if he's trying to cut back as well. So it's a very good tool to use against an offense that likes those zone stretch plays, that backside corner blitz.
Here's Purdy. He keeps it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. J.T. Woods makes the stop. Third down coming for the Cyclones.
Schweiger did a nice job pulling around on that one. See the big man right there.
Terrell Brock has checked in for Iowa State. Kohler in the slot, bottom of your screen. Purdy, and here we got a timeout.
Timeout. Iowa State. First of the half. 30 seconds.
All right, with the timeout, let's check in with the newly married. You saw that glow, huh? Mike Hill, find out what's coming up at the half.
Hey, I'm Mike Hill coming up on the State Farm halftime. Florida made a statement in the top 10 showdown with Georgia. Michigan gets a rude awakening on the road in Bloomington, plus a dramatic finish between USC and Arizona State. It's all at the half. But right now, B. Gus and Nugget, back to you.
So Nugget, you know, Mike and I worked together back at ESPN a number of years ago, and when I would come on and do a segment, I always come out with, you know, one of the deep research nuggets from deep in the research packet. Like, this is the, you know, 119th meeting, the first time that it's ever occurred after a certain day, you know, whatever the case may be. So now that's Thrill's nickname for Nugget.
That's the story you going with. He said it was because of your hair. I'm just saying, that's what he told me. 3rd and 10 for Iowa State. Purdy to Hall. Left side, maybe a yard. Braden Utley was there. Now a decision here. What are you going to do? Now, Iowa State's had some issues with their field goal kicker. Connor Asali that walks out on the field.
Yeah, and that's why that call seems so interesting to me. Like, if you're going to do something like that, you would think that they're going to go for it on 4th down, that they just wanted to pick up a few more yards for a more manageable 4th down attempt.
This is from 42. As long as 40. And drives it right in. (21-10). Sally is good from 42.
Well, so maybe he wanted it on the left hash. But whatever it was, go for the kick, and maybe not the most distance in the world, but hey, it still counts, right?
Absolutely.
It's not how, it's how many.
So 9 plays, 40 yards for Iowa State, and they get 3 points. It's Coach Campbell looking to rally his troops. Keep in mind, Baylor will receive the football at the beginning of the second half.
And keep in mind that Iowa State has had some problems with kickoff returns, including against Louisiana earlier in the season. And Ebner, as we mentioned, back deep for this one, returned 2 kickoffs for touchdown in the opener against Kansas. See if they're going to kick this all the way deep to Ebner.
Nettles, the freshman, kicking this one off. This is Ebner. Across the 25. Mark him down at the 26. So, if you're Baylor, Coach Aranda, you get aggressive? Do you try to put more points on the board, or what do you think, Robert?
Well, to me, I think, why not? Why not try and at least test early here? Let's see what you can do. If you can come up with a play or two, get the ball a little bit further out. Now, clearly, you don't want to drive it into coverage and get a turnover.
Waylon Jones.
But here, you get a little bit more comfortable. You get a nice gain like that on 1st down. You get a little bit more comfortable trying to drive the ball just a little bit more downfield.
It's a 9-yard pickup. Redshirt freshman. Keep in mind, Squirrel Williams left with an injury. It's Jones again. He's got a first down. The field monster brought him down.
A little bit of extra growth there. They fertilized that one spot extremely well. Caused that little turf nugget to come up.
From their own 39.
Yep.
And again, Jones, and he's driven back by Mike Rose.
Well, that'll be the end of any attempts to get some points on this drive.
4-yard loss.
Second and long, again, situation, watch the screen, watch the draw. I don't even know that you attempt, to throw the ball in this situation now. 40 seconds.
Brewers 8 of 11 so far for 140. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Baylor's going to call a timeout.
Timeout. Baylor. First of the half. 30 seconds.
Well, so far, story of this game has been interceptions. And Baylor turned them into points. Started with Boogie Barnes. And Charlie Brewer hooked up with RJC. And then Purdy again looking. Bad pass. Raleigh Tejada.
First red zone turnover in his career.
Dabney, second catch of his career. First touchdown, and Petrie with a pick 6.
Well, we hear so many times these days, complimentary football. And that pressure defense from the Baylor Bears has been tremendous. And we know Dave Aranda's history as an excellent coordinator from Utah State to Wisconsin to LSU. There's some interesting comments from him about why he wanted to move on from being a coordinator, felt that he was too isolated as a coordinator. Now getting an opportunity to talk more to the players and the entire team. He likes that role.
So just a reminder, the State Farm halftime show, Mike Keel, Emmanuel Acho, and Joel Klatt, that is coming up next. As Coach Aranda likes what he sees, 31 points have been scored here in the first half, 28 of those off of turnovers. Mike Keel after this break. Is our score here at the half in Ames. Iowa State leading the conference, taking on the Baylor Bears. Brian Custer alongside Robert Smith and Smitty. Baylor came into this game on a 3-game losing streak, saying they definitely need a better start. They haven't started well at all this season. Just needed to see some signs of life. Certainly got it in the first half.
Yeah, they got it in the first half, and really you go back to last week where they dropped down to TCU in that game, and I think the way that they came back in that game was kind of proof to them that, hey, we believe in this thing. We've got a new coach. He's not a yeller. He's a very soft-spoken guy. He talks about developing the player inside the person. Take it one play at a time. Do it for your brother. They went out and did that, and that's exactly the way that they came out today. And, of course, Dave Aranda, defensive coordinator Ron Roberts, they're doing it with the defense. But that's what they've been doing all year long. They've been the spark, but the offense has converted.
Now, so then if you're Iowa State, you came into this game knowing that you're leading the conference, but you wanted to prove to everyone that you are serious contenders. the Cyclones have had issues when it comes to November for some reason.
Yeah, they have. And, you talk about the play of Brock Purdy, and I think that that's a big key of what we have. You talk about the turnovers in that first half. And really, the first two were unforced areas. This was a late ball, just didn't get it deep enough. And then the pass to Chase Thomas throws that one a little bit wide and allows Petrie to get out there and make that interception. And then on the last one, this was a forced error. It was the defense that really did a nice job of pressuring right there that forced him to throw that ball a little bit earlier and not where he wanted to. So it was really the Baylor defense that affected Brock Purdy on that last one and forced him to turn that ball in.
Here's the first half stats, of course, brought to you by Zaxby. And 3 turnovers by Iowa State, all of them interceptions. All of Baylor's points scored off of those turnovers. In case you're wondering, last time Brock Purdy has thrown 3 interceptions in a half. Just go back to last season against Oklahoma State. Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions in the second half of that game, and that was a Cyclone loss. Looking to overcome those turnovers here tonight. Iowa State trying to right the ship as we begin the second half, down 11, 21-10.
Well, of course, the big story for Baylor not having Squirrel available likely here in the second half. Anytime a player needs help like that, not able to get any weight on a limb as they're trying to leave the field, they need that kind of help. It's very rare that that player is going to be back in the game.
Nettles with the kick. Touchback for Baylor. And here comes Charlie Brewer and company. Brewer, 8 of 11 for 140. A couple of touchdown passes, 1 interception. That 1 interception led to the only touchdown for Iowa State. R.J. Sneed, 3 catches, 42 yards. Touchdown catch. Waylon Jones, redshirt freshman. In a tailback. Brewer steps up. Picks up about 4. Jake Hummel forces him out of bounds.
Charlie Brewer, a lot stronger than people think. You see him take off on this one. Jaquan Bailey has an opportunity to wrap him up right here, but he escapes. Pulls away, gets a few yards out of that one.
Let's go, Connor!
2nd and 7 for the Baylor Bears. Freshman wrapped up. Give him 1. Mike Rose, first person to meet him. You talk a lot about this, about that game against TCU. Take a look at the first half of Baylor had against TCU compared to tonight. Just 1 first down, and that came off a penalty for Baylor last week.
Yeah, and of course, getting the 3 turnovers, a big part of that. But yes, the offense has looked much better today, and they really thought that they found something that clicked in that second half against TCU as well.
Brewer on 3rd down, avoids the rush, throws over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Atkinson. Atkinson had that 62-yard catch earlier in the first quarter.
When Brewer's going to try and see him step up into the pocket, just not able to get enough on that one. White, nice coverage from Iowa State. Just not enough to get that ball all the way to his receiver.
Isaac Bauer will come to punt things away. Greg Eisworth is back deep. First punt of the night for Baylor. Eisworth fumbles it. Scramble for the loose ball, and it looks like Baylor has it.
They certainly had it initially. They did. It's tough to tell what happens at the bottom of those piles. And, of course, Iowa State players are going to point their way. But it's pretty clear that Baylor made that recovery.
It's Baylor football. Another turnover for Iowa State.
Rolling on the field. Nicholas fumble. Recovered by
Gunnar
Baylor.
Royal.
First down.
Comes up with his eyes were tried to call the fair catch and dropped the football. Fourth turnover of the night for the Cyclones. Look at Coach Aranda.
There's that emotion. Yeah, exactly. Was what helped them in the first half. Get another one of those turnovers and a short field. See if they can convert again.
R.J. Sneed's at the top of your screen. This is the freshman, Jones. You know, I go back to one thing that Matt Campbell told us. Remember when we were talking about him, about keys to the game? He said, first of all, we got to take care of the football. They haven't done that. The other thing is, like, one thing that's concerns me, special teams.
Yep.
And here it plays itself out here.
No question about it. And again, we talked about some of the problems that they've had on special teams earlier in the season as well.
Brewer. Eludes, spins, maybe a yard or two.
We're going to flush him out of the pocket. Brewer does a nice job, though, feeling Mike Rose, not able to wrap him up. And a little spin there. But Brewer's got a lot of fight in him, the Austin native.
Tristan Ebner is checked into the backfield. Third down and 8 for Baylor. And a timeout by Iowa State.
Timeout. Iowa State. First of the half.
I think we had some personnel mix-ups there. 21-10 our score here in the third.
Oh, it's back out.
Fox College football is powered by Ram trucks, built to serve. 21-10 our score here in the third quarter. Third down for the Baylor Bears. Baylor so far, 2 opportunities in the red zone in this game. Both have resulted in touchdowns. R.J. Sneed.
R.J. Sneed, you see him lined up at the top. Haven't heard his name called lately.
And he's looking at it. Out of the hands of Sneed. He tried to climb and get it, working on Anthony Johnson.
See Anthony Johnson really happy wasn't able to bring that one in. We can see Sneed getting off, and Brewer tries to get it to him, but just a little bit too high out of the reach. He got 2 hands on that one, though. Quarterbacks, I'm sure Joel's sitting there in studio saying, oh, yeah, touch both of his hands, got to catch that one.
Here's Mayers. This is from 36. He's got it. 24-10 our score. Baylor on top. Well, in honor of Veterans Day, Fox Sports proudly salutes those who serve our country. That's why Fox Sports is helping Blue Star families build communities around the world that empower military families. You can learn how you can help by visiting bluestarfam.org. 24-10 is our score here in Ames. Baylor has scored all of their points off of turnovers by Iowa State. Noah Rauschenberg, sophomore, kicked things away. Kene Nwangu. Nwangu about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. And he's got a seam. Nwangu across midfield. And finally brought down in Baylor territory, and Rauschenberg, the punter, had to stop him.
And we talked about Nwangu's ability to return. Does a nice job on this one. Some nice blocking, finds a seam, gets all the way out to the outside, and then turns on the Jets. Good blocking Everybody leading up. Here we go. Iowa State, you've got your field position now. So many times we talk about big plays with these tight ends here in particular. All three of those tight ends in the game right now. Do you try and take a shot with one of those guys?
67-yard return. Brees Hall. He fakes it and throws. That's complete. That's Kohler. Check that. Dylan Sainer. 11-yard pickup, first down for the Cyclones.
A little bit of play action. Sainer gets out into the flat. Does a nice job turning upfield. So dangerous with those three tight ends. Kind of force personnel decisions. And with so many of these teams around the country going into three-man fronts, when you've got three big tight ends like that, it can really stress your defense.
Purdy looking for Kohler. To the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. Iowa State. .22-yard pitch and catch to Charlie Kohler. And with that, Brock Purdy now has the Iowa State record. Most touchdown passes.
Kohler does a nice job there. I mean, really simple, just beats his man. Christian Morgan, he's such a big target anyway, but Morgan really just never caught up to him. Kohler's got some speed, an athletic guy. Then we talked about the danger of tight ends like that in an offense. Versatile guys that can go up and bring it down for you. Iowa State getting a little bit of momentum. See if Baylor can answer when we get back.
No one has thrown more touchdown passes at Iowa State than Brock Purdy. His 51st touchdown pass. He came into the game tied with Brett Mayer, who threw 50 during his career, 2004 to 2007. Brock Purdy now with 51 and a new Iowa State record. I love Brett. Brett talked about it this week in the newspaper. Said congratulations to Brock. He knew he'd get it. And wait a minute, here's Tristan Ebner. And look at this return down the sideline.
Got a flag down.
Nearly to midfield there, flag, and they're a little banged up. 38-yard return by Tristan Ebner. Yeah, Mayer said, listen, it's quite an accomplishment, but if Seneca Wallace...
the return. Holding. Number 0. Return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Time for our moments of protection brought to you by Allstate. Get better protected with Allstate. You've never been in better hands, and you're certainly in good hands with Charlie Kohler. That touchdown catch, his 3rd of the season, 13th of his career. Yeah, Mayer said great accomplishment for Purdy. But he said if Seneca Wallace would have played here more than 2 years, he would have probably threw 70 touchdowns.
Yeah, we saw Seneca last year out here. He was inducted into the Iowa State Hall of Fame. Great guy.
Tay McWilliams in. That one to the outside to Yusef Terry. Mike Rose and Eisworth make the stop. It's a 1-yard loss.
Now Iowa State got a little bit of momentum. Fans charged up.
Yep.
See if that defense feeds off of that energy.
Brewer to the outside, throws that one away.
They bring Mike Rose to the outside on that one. John Haycock, we talk so much about his defense and how different it is, and how it's revolutionized the way that some coaches think about defense. He does a great job really timing his calls, and right there they wanted to make sure that Charlie Brewer But that clock was sped up in his mind right there. They brought Rose off the edge. Here you're going to see probably some simulated pressure. Going to back some of those guys out. They're not bringing all 6 of them.
3rd and 11. Baylor 4 of 7 on 3rd down. Brewer. Flags. Throws. Incomplete. Usually when you have that much time, there's a holding. Here's Scott Campbell.
Holding, number 1, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Tristan Ebner.
That's exactly what Iowa State needed after the turnovers. Get the 3 and out. See Lawrence White blitzing straight up the middle, and Ebner just grabbed him. And this is really what John Haycock is designing these types of late pressures for, is to isolate a running back who is not going to be as good at protection as some other players. That's exactly what you got there. And Ebner wrapped up White and got the penalty.
Keep in mind, Osworth dropped the last one. Second possession, second 3 and out for Baylor. And that one's going to be down at the 20. 51-yard punt. 7-point lead for Baylor. 10 minutes left in this quarter. Fox College football is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Cyclones with the rock. Brock Purdy, 8 of 14, just 89 yards passing. He's got a touchdown pass, 3 interceptions. Johnny Lang is checked into the backfield. They'll swing it out to Johnny Lang. Steps out of bounds. That's a first down pickup.
They do a nice job bringing Lang into the backfield, drawing the defense in, then getting him back out, letting him get on the edge. And this Baylor defense has done a fairly good job of corralling Breece Hall in this game. Remember, Breece also a good receiver out of the backfield. To see if this Iowa State offense is able to exploit his pass receiving capabilities as this game goes on.
Breece with just 61 yards so far rushing, coming in averaging, leading the nation. 150 he averages a game. He's got it now. That's pickup of 3. You know, we talked about at the top, Baylor on a 13-game losing streak when it comes to ranked teams. Last time they had beaten a ranked team, he had to go back 5 years ago when they beat North Carolina in the Russell Athletic Bowl. North Carolina was ranked 10th at the time. That same year, the last time they beat a ranked Big 12 squad, it was Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was ranked 4th. They beat them up in Stillwater. Here's Purdy, play action. Looking, he's got a man open. And complete to Breece. Cross midfield.
Able to get the ball to Breece Hall, releasing from Terrell Bernard right there. But I'll tell you, Purdy had Landon Akers running wide open down the field. We talked about how they wanted to incorporate him more and how he's one of the faster players on the team. Here, maybe they're going to try and motion him to get him out and get another isolation.
He's going to keep it. And Purdy. Forced out of bounds by Riley Tejada.
Quite design run right there. We got an
Injured Baylor Bear.
I think that's Bernard that's down.
29-yard pickup, though, by Brock Purdy. Terrell Bernard, the junior, came into this game leading the Big 12 in tackles per game. tried to make the initial tackle here.
Well, you can see him extend that left arm, and it looks like he got that left arm underneath him, and sometimes that can be a collarbone or a shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. Back up.
Yeah, you can see he's leaning. You see how, yeah, you're right. See how he's favoring that arm.
And all of his weight fell down onto his arm, and he's just hanging that thing. And you just hate to see that. He's not just a versatile, athletic playmaker. He's an emotional leader as well. Really a tough loss if he's not able to return to the game. Of course, we wish him the best on his health.
Abram Smith will replace him in the lineup. 1st and 10. Back in the red zone. Cyclones. From the 17. Here's Brees. Cuts back. Uh-oh. The Beast. 6. Second touchdown of the night for Brees Hall. This one from 17 yards out. Whiffed on the tackle. Watch the cutback right there.
The first play, Terrell Bernard's out of the game. Get Brees Hall, makes a nice cutback, and it's the vision again. It's the beauty of zone plays. It's the flexibility it gives the running back to take it front side, to take it back side, and that's what he did right there.
5 plays, 80 yards. The Cyclones go, and now we've got a tied ball game here in the 3rd quarter, and now all of a sudden some of those injuries may start to add up for the Baylor Bears.
Absolutely.
Squirrel goes out in the first half. Your leading defensive player goes out here.
Nice cutback right there. Does a nice job pressing on the front side of that play. Pressing means that you get it up into the line of scrimmage. You mentioned it. McVay had an opportunity right there, but Brees Hall a little bit too quick. Purdy was ready to throw a block on the outside as well, but didn't need to get it done.
Well, you got to love how your team has responded, especially, hey, look, you look at your quarterback who's thrown 3 interceptions. Now, all of a sudden, if you're Matt Campbell, you're looking at your team and saying, look, we've thrown up 14 unanswered points. We got a new ball game, guys.
Absolutely. And it's one of those situations where the coach gets you on the sideline, sits you down and says, hey, look, we're okay. We're okay. Just have to take care of the football, and we're going to start making some plays. That's exactly what you've seen. Place is starting to rock a little bit here in Ames. Iowa State fans feeling pretty good. Now it's up to Baylor to try and respond.
Here's Ebner across the 20. Forced out of bounds at the 28. So now let's see if Baylor can put a drive together. They've had some pretty good field position in this game because of the turnovers, and the result has been points. Now let's see if the offense can have one of those sustained drives and just drive it down the field for points. 7:30 left in the quarter. Trips at the bottom of the screen for Brewer. He goes up top to Jones, the freshman. Lawrence White makes the stop. 4-yard pickup for Baylor.
And you talked about it. Baylor's had some opportunities on some short fields. When we talk about this Iowa State defense, they gave up the big, longer shot earlier in this game, but they really force you to drive the field. They try and keep everything in front of them.
Brewer flushed out of the pocket. He's close to a first down. 5-yard pickup.
This is what we talked about in the open. This is where Charlie Brewer's legs can make such a big difference. Again, last year led the team in rushing touchdowns, and when things get tied up, especially when you've got a 3-man front on a rush, which is what you usually get from Iowa State, Charlie Brewer can escape and get some extra yards.
Yeah, he had 11 rushing touchdowns last season, none so far this season. He's got it again. Rose misses.
They're going to mark him short.
No gain.
Rose did miss, but he affected him enough to slow him down and allow some other defenders to come from the inside. Miller got in there. Host
The third
Cyclones.
Yeah, the third 3 and out here for this Baylor offense. And Power back in to punt things away. Eisworth standing at his own 15. Yard punt. Brock Purdy, boy, you can just roll up the Iowa State records. Just scroll them, guys. Look at it. Completion, pass attempt, pass yards and a half. I mean, my goodness. You can add touchdown passes to this list. And he's just a junior.
What a tremendous player, and you never want your quarterback to have 3 interceptions in a game, but if you've got a guy with the experience like a Brock Purdy with this confidence, quarterbacks, they have to have a short memory. You make your mistakes and you move on. You have to worry about that next play. That's what you've seen from Brock Purdy in this Iowa State team.
Lang and Hall in the backfield. They give it to Brees. William Bradley King makes the stop. 4-yard pickup for Brees. He's now got 81 yards. Make it 85. Second and 7. Purdy under pressure. And that was caught by Sean Shaw. Wow. A catch. Bradley King forces him out of bounds.
But Bradley King had the pressure on Brock Purdy on that one coming off of the edge. Here you can see Shaw, 6'6", elevating for this one. That left foot looked like it hit out of bounds. We're going to take a look at this one, I'm sure. It looked like the left foot came down out of bounds before that right foot got down. And I'm sure they'll take a look at it.
Scott Campbell goes. Well, let's go to our dean of the rule book. Dean Blandino.
Nicely done.
Dino, what do you see?
Expert.
I wish that was the first time somebody used that line. I would want to give you that credit, but
it's the first time he used it.
To you
right.
The first time tonight somebody said it. But the left foot is going to be the key here, and you can see it looks like the left foot comes down out of bounds. And again, it has to be any body part, a hand or a foot, inbounds first. So the right comes down inbounds, but it looks like that left foot is in the white, and that this pass is incomplete. This will be a good look here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep, incomplete. All right, Dean, thank you, bud.
Appreciate it, Dean. Rules expert.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll wipe away that catch. And here's Scott Campbell.
After review, it was an incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 32-yard line. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock. 4 minutes, 54 seconds. 4-5-4.
I want to know, does every referee in college football have to hit the weight room these days? See the buys and tries on Scott Campbell. My goodness.
Yeah, everybody followed Ed Hockley's lead. Like, wait a minute, we can get people talking about us if we hit the gym for some curls before we go on air? Absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah, Scott put on the medium-sized shirt, too. There's Kohler in motion. Purdy looking his way. Now under pressure. He's going to keep it. He's got a first down. Slides. They're going to give him a 17-yard pickup.
Boy, nice job escaping the pocket on this one. You see Bradley King. I mean, this guy's just an absolute terror. The transfer from Arkansas State probably got away with a little bit of a hold on that one. But he takes off right there. And it's not just the throws you make, it's the throws you don't make. Don't force the ball in that situation.
Brees Hall across midfield. 6-yard pickup for him. Aiden Nwangu checks in. Brees is knocking on 100. He's got 90 right now.
Of course, for those who didn't hear, 6 100-yard rushing games, every single game this year coming in. The only player in the country coming into today that had 6 100-yard rushing games.
Purdy over the middle. He was looking for Joe Skates. Riley Tejada.
And he's just going to try and hit Skates. Tight post there. Tejada able to get in and break that one up. Another dangerous throw right there, though. Almost got tipped from a defender sitting in the hole on that one, coming back from the linebacker spot. To be real careful on those tips, and that's exactly what happened with the throw earlier in the game to Chase Thomas.
3rd and 4. Crossing around. Hutchinson. First down. 9-yard pickup.
Hutchinson from Blinn Junior College, coming across, a little shallow cross right there. Does a nice job evading the tackle from J.T. Woods. Gets the first down. He's an explosive player. He's going to make some big plays this year for this team. He already has. Came into the game leading the team in receptions. And he's got some speed.
Disastrous first half for Brock Purdy, but boy, he's been good here in the second half. 5 of 7 touchdown pass. Here's Brees Hall. And Brees, he's got that first down. And nearly broke it. Man, an injured player. 12-yard pickup for Brees. He's now got over 100. Riley Tejada. He's the injured Baylor Bear. Senior out of Frisco, Texas.
I tell you, Brees just has such a great feel. Like Tejada just got that shoulder into him. Shoulder into the leg, hip area of Brees Hall. But Brees Hall has just such a natural feel. And we talked in the open about the way that Tom Manning, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State, talked about the improvement of Brees Hall and understanding the blocking schemes, understanding how to turn shorter runs into longer runs by understanding where the soft spots are in defense and where to make that next move to get to the next level. But some of these things you just have to have a feel for, and you can just tell he's so calm when he runs. He is so smooth, and it's so effortless. He just is running with a lot of confidence, makes great moves, but he's also a physical ball carrier.
He's got over 100 on the night. He's now got over 1,000 on the season. Looking to add to it. Gets to the outside. And it's almost, he's got that Robert Smith glide when he gets to the edge.
I don't know what that was. That was a long time ago. No, but he does a nice job on this one. The way that he bounces, Matt Jones gets a shot at him, but again, the strength. So he's got the whole thing. It's the vision, it's the patience, it's the acceleration, it's the moves, but it's the power. as well. Just it's a lot of fun watching a young player like this. Again, because we called so many of the games last year, and we were, you know, in talking to the coaching staff, they were so excited about him, but you could tell he's doing more than they even thought he was capable of.
You got to feed that beast.
Tote that rock.
He's inside the 10. Another 9-yard pickup for Breece Hall.
Yeah, and this Baylor defense getting a little bit gassed. They've been on this field quite a bit. In this third quarter, their offense going 3 and outs. And as you know, Mr. Boxing specialist, those body blows, that run game, pound, 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 and it just wears you down.
And they got fresh legs. Name Nwangu. He's got it now. Bounces it to the outside and driven back. He lost one. Ashton Logan, good stop.
But did a nice job of stringing that one out. And I think that they could tell Nwangu was going to try and get to the outside, but did a nice job. People talk about setting the edge, or, you know, what are you talking about doing? You're trying to keep that ball carrier from getting wide. You have got to widen or get upfield to force them back into other defenders, and that's exactly what you saw right there. They forced Nwangu to stay flat and never be able to plant his foot and get upfield.
3 tight ends. He's looking for Kohler. Over the middle. Complete. Chase Allen. Touchdown. Cyclones. Just pick your poison with these tight ends. Whether it's Kohler, whether it's Allen, whether it's Sainer. Found the window. Chase Allen with the touchdown, his second of the season. The Cyclones go 11 plays and 71 yards.
And that's going after Morgan again. He was in coverage earlier for Charlie Kohler. Last jive by Brock Purdy. Finding Chase Allen in the back of the end zone. Iowa State has rolled back into this one. Take the lead.
The Cyclones have scored 21 unanswered points and now lead this football game by 7. 31-24. Chase Allen gets his second touchdown catch of the season. You talk about those tight ends. The hard part is all of them can block, they can catch, and they're all over 6'5".
Yeah, they're all over 6'6". They're 6'6", 250 plus, every single one of them. You got a matchup again that last time with Christian Morgan. 6'1", he's giving up 5 inches. But he just wasn't in great position right there to make a play anyway. Want to anticipate where those tight ends are going to go.
Josh Fleeks takes it to the 20. You talk about these tight ends. Take a look at these guys. This is a starting lineup in the NBA. 6'6", 6'6", 6'7", and 6'7". And they're really excited about Easton Dean because he's the freshman.
Yeah. Allen, 3-sport athlete in high school, all-state basketball. Was a javelin state champion.
Kohler played high school basketball with Trey Young on the same high school basketball team. Here's Brewer. R.J. Sneed. Forced out of bounds by Anthony Johnson.
Clearly a big drive here for Baylor, and they've got to find their way back into this. Nice throw right there, getting R.J. Sneed involved.
That's the last play of this quarter.
The end, third quarter. Timeout on the
We'll come to the fourth quarter. 7-point lead for the Cyclones. (21, 24, 31, 21 unanswered by the Cyclones.
This might be time to take a shot. 2nd and 1 coming in the quarter.
Here's Ebner. Hard-earned one. Baylor had no first downs at all in that third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's for your confidence, but it also helps your defense rest a little bit. We talked about the time of possession there in the third quarter. Baylor defense on the field way too much.
Baylor will go with trips here at the bottom of your screen. Here's Brewer. Under pressure. It's sacked. Eddie Awazarike.
And Awazarike almost missed him, but he was able to get a hand on Brewer. Just kind of grabbed the back of his jersey on this one, in front of his jersey, and pull him down. Got that big paw up there, extended whatever he could to bring him down.
Loss of 11. Second and 19. They're going to swing it out. Colin Jones. That's a good stick. Eisworth. You know, he used to play that star position for this Cyclone squad. Doesn't play it anymore. But he's a playmaker.
He's a playmaker. He's a versatile talent. Obviously, he had to mix up on the punt return, but back on the punt returns, clearly a great athlete. This year, they've got Young back there at that same star position.
Brewer again to the air. Jones, the freshman. The Cyclones are swarming to the football now.
John Haycock, this three-safety look defense really took away the opportunity for Charlie Brewer right there to go where he wanted to go. Drake Dabney, the young tight end, going across the middle of the field. That's exactly what that defense is designed to stop. Keep those routes.
Power. Blocked. It's scooped up by the Cyclones. Akers comes up with the play. Special teams once again coming up big in this game.
See, Power knew that was going to be blocked, so he had to pull it down. He had the block on. Akers gets in there. We talked earlier about what a talent he is as a wide receiver, one of the fastest players on the team, one of the best special teams players. See him getting the great block right there and the recovery, almost the scoop and score.
The senior out of Cedar Rapids. Big play here for the Cyclones. They try to add to their lead. They've already put up 21 unanswered.
Worst possible scenario for Baylor right there. You could tell they got a little bit conservative, especially since they lost some yardage on the sack by Awazarike. They didn't want to try and drive the ball down the field unless they absolutely knew they could get it without a turnover.
Here's Brees Hall. Puts his head down. He'll pick up a 3.
Now we're going to have all 3 tight ends in the game as Chase Allen comes onto the field. Sainer's in there already. Kohler's in there. We talked about the danger again. You get these tight ends in these tight sets, these heavy sets, draws in the defense, and then you release them on routes or just use them in blocking.
And Hall. Still driving. Dylan Doyle wraps him up. We'll mark it at the 6. 2-yard pickup. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Got an injured player. Another Baylor Bear. Looks to be Braden Utley. Let's take a look here at the current Big 12 standings. Oklahoma State got a victory today. So they go to 5-1, 4-1, and that's why this game is important for Iowa State, because if you're Iowa State, you get a victory. You're 5-1 here in the conference. It'd be the first time in program history that this team has been 5-1 in the conference.
They've done a tremendous job. You go back to that Oklahoma State game, 2 missed field goals in that game, or they could have won that.
game.
A lot of penalties in that game. What could have been?
But you still control your own destiny.
Absolutely, and that's all you can ask for. In a year like this in particular, I mean, what a job Matt Campbell's done with this program. See his talent when he was back in the MAC, coaching at Toledo. Guys really believe in him, and he's not just bringing in a bunch of 2- and 3-star guys and developing. He's getting some real talent in there as well.
He said, listen, all these guys now are my guys. I mean, they came here when we were 3-9, and I was selling them on a hope. Now they believe. 3rd and 5. From the 6, Purdy to the air. Brees Hall, 3rd touchdown of the night for Brees the Beast.
Just going to release him to the flat. You can see Christian Morgan just a little bit late on that one. Got to get the count right. Who's got the flat responsibility to that side? Christian Morgan had his eyes into the backfield, trying to watch Brock Purdy. Needed to see the first man out. Here's Brees Hall. Should have been covering him into the flat.
Cyclones, 4 possessions this half, 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy had 3 interceptions. He's now capped that off with 3 touchdown passes. And it's Iowa State up 38-24. Sports at they crunk up in here in Ames, huh? They're getting it on up here in Ames.
Looks like that in Iowa too, man. Like a night, like a clock.
You better stay in your room, Robert Smith. Here's Josh Fleeks. Man, this game has certainly changed after those 3 turnovers in the first half by the Cyclones. All of a sudden, Iowa State has responded with 28 unanswered points. Brees Hall, 123 yards on the ground. He's also got a career-high 3 touchdowns tonight. Baylor, no first downs at all in that 3rd quarter.
And remember, top running back coming into this game, Squirrel Williams out, John Lovett not here. And on the defensive side, Terrell Bernard, their great linebacker, also injured.
That's Say McWilliams, Isaiah Lee grabs him, bottles him up. No gain. Baylor will go 5 wide here. Empty set for Brewer.
This is where Brewer sometimes takes off. You get these empty sets.
Over the middle. Snead. He's brought down at the 37. Mike Rose with the stop.
Nice job on the protection. Took a little bit of time to develop that dig route right over the middle, the deep in. Snead does a nice job pulling that one in.
17-yard pickup. That was dropped by Tay McWilliams.
What a classic mistake by McWilliams right there. Just turns his head before the ball gets there.
You gotta keep your stud loose there. That's what they're doing.
Got that horse liniment at DMSO. That's that stuff we used to use. Make a breath stink dye. I'm sure they're not putting that on. Things have certainly changed, though. They do a great job taking care of guys with their diet. I know bringing in Coach Andrews this year in the offseason, they've done a lot of changes with their conditioning inside the program.
All start. And that O-line.
False start, 73. Offense.
Rough night for Jake. So here Coach Aranda saying, let's go, O. Second and 15 now.
Isolation up here.
Brewer going deep. Incomplete. He was looking at Yusef Terry.
Just not enough on that football.
And
there he had his man beat.
If there's
saw that earlier in the game.
If there's been one criticism of Charlie Brewer, especially from Baylor fans, is they want to see more accuracy on the deep ball.
Yeah.
And they've questioned the arm strength.
And people have questioned the arm strength and wonder if the arm strength has gone down. Because some of that has something to do with the injuries or just the pounding that he tends to take.
Charlie Rowland throws to the sideline. That's Drake Dabney. His third catch of the night. The freshman.
Boy, all kinds of time on this one. Really not a lot of options. You have to credit Iowa State on the defensive side of the ball, really covering up. But you can see a couple of receivers in the same area. You know, a little scramble drill right there. But Atkinson and Snead ended up in the same area. Drew defenders with them, so Brewer couldn't get the ball. And here they're going to go on fourth down.
4th and 6 for Baylor. And timeout. Coach Aranda wanted to talk it over. It has been all Cyclones here in the second half. They're up 14. Fox College Football is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Cyclones have been serving up the Bears here in the second half. 28 unanswered. By the way, Matt Campbell's got to love this. No penalties so far for Iowa State tonight.
We've got Snead on the bottom of the screen here. 3 receivers to the other side. Usually do that, try and get a little isolation on the backside. That's what you get with Snead right now.
4th and 6. Cyclones showing blitz. And they're coming. And caught. Ebner. Ebner's loose. Tristan Ebner to the house. And they burn the Cyclones. A 58-yard touchdown by Baylor.
So we had the isolation on the backside, and then you get Ebner out on a little bit of an angle route. White's supposed to be in coverage. You can see him slip on that one. And then it's just turning on the jets. We talked about the speed of Ebner, and you can tell he's a little bit gimpy. We saw it on a couple of the returns earlier, but playing through that, still enough speed to take that one to the house.
On 4th and 6, Baylor comes up with that 58-yard strike. And don't count these Baylor Bears out yet. 31-38, and we still got 8 to play.
Here you're going to see Lawrence White was supposed to be in coverage on this one, but he's got to know where the yard marker is. You're going to see a little action from Ebner coming out. And that's the key on this angle route, to try and convince coverage that you're going to be running to the flat. And White just overruns this, tries to get back to the inside. And Ebner able to catch that ball with nobody around him, turn on the jets, and have a few guys get in his way, and that's 6.
I'll tell you what, Baylor entering tonight has outscored their opponents 45-7 in the 4th quarter. So they've been a second half, 4th quarter team. As Tristan Ebner took that one 58 yards. You know, he coming into the night, the only Power 5 player with at least a touchdown rushing, receiving, and a return touchdown.
First player in, 25 years to do it all in the same game. Returns.
Exactly.
Did that earlier in the year against Kansas. Lost his single digit a couple of weeks ago from the Leadership Council. Got it back this week. Great performance tonight.
Here's Brees Hall.
He's, you know, Brees, I've been thinking about different guys to compare him to, and I think peak level Le'Veon Bell, yes, what he reminds me of.
Because he's patient when he hits down. He's just looking to see where the crease is and then gets through it.
Yeah, but and he has different styles of attack because it doesn't do that all the time. And, you know, you don't always want to do that. Depends on what the run's supposed to be. Here, a little condensed formation and bring the tight ends back in. Little play action, get it out to Chase Allen.
And that's the first down.
And that's that danger again of having those multiple tight end sets. You see that heavy look, you've got all 3 of them in there. Everybody reacts to that run action and get Allen out to the flat. So you start those tight ends out, you bring the formation in, or condense it as they call it. Then you get that play action, draw up the defense, get those tight ends out.
I think they want to take another look.
The ruling on the field was a catch for a first down. Previous play is under further review.
Let's see. So did he have control of that? He kept it off. He kept it off of the ground, and he was inbounds. It looks like when he got control of the ball, he definitely didn't catch that one cleanly. But it looks like, at least from that angle, having it called a catch on the field, it looks from that angle like he was able to gain control with his body inbounds before getting to the out of bounds there. Maybe there's another angle that might show that he didn't have control of the ball before going out of bounds. But here you can see he doesn't have it cleanly, and it never touches the ground. He keeps it under his hand.
Yeah.
That's going to be a catch.
That's a catch.
We could call in the rules expert.
Well, let's bring in, since you ask.
Let's call him the dean.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever done that?
What do you got for us, Mr. Blandino?
I've never, ever heard that before. This is an unbelievable play. Looking at that football, you would swear that it hits the ground at some point, but I just haven't seen any angle that shows the ball touch the ground. It's clearly loose, but as he rolls over, he's going to secure possession. It's a good stop by the replay official because it is close. But again, if that ball doesn't hit the ground, which I don't think it does, this looks like a catch.
Okay. Hey, if Dean says it's a catch,
it's a catch.
It's a catch.
No two ways about it. He's the dean of officiating.
Yes, he is.
Dean of experts.
Here's Scott Campbell.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Catch, first down.
And Dean is 2 for 2.
Yeah. I'm surprised that one wasn't confirmed. Yeah, I think it looked like he had firm control of the ball and was clearly in bounds when he was on his back before he got out of bounds. So I would have thought that one would have been confirmed.
I think I'd like to see Dean and Pereira start wearing some tight shirts too. You know what I mean? Since these referees are doing it now.
They're going to have to hit the gym first, I guess.
There's Brees. Across the 40, Christian Morgan makes the stop. 4-yard pickup. All now with 133 yards rushing.
Yeah, and it's the grind time. And again, I think the difference is so marked in seeing Brees run the ball this year versus running the ball last year. And everybody's been through a lot this year, clearly. But I think guys in the self-reflection that Matt Campbell talked about clearly shows with Brees Hall.
In behind the line of scrimmage there. Jay Franklin was the first to meet him.
Great job along the defensive front here for Baylor. And you can see the little angle right at the snap of the ball. A little stunt from that defensive line. Everybody getting into the gaps, able to get into the backfield on that one. And that type of penetration is always going to kill one of those inside runs. And that's exactly what we saw right there. Big opportunity here for Baylor on third down.
Brees, career high 28 carries. Purdy drives that football, and it's complete to Hutchinson. And the drive continues for Iowa State.
Talk about Hudson at Blaine Junior College a year ago. Double break on that one. Tejada in the coverage, not able to get there in time. Got to understand where the sticks are. Hutchinson did a nice job driving beyond the depth of the sticks because the route takes you back towards the line of scrimmage. He got to the proper depth, and even though Tejada was able to get to him and make the tackle right after the catch, he had enough depth for first down.
Baylor blew that up.
Jailbreak on that one. That's one where, you know, all you can do as a running back is protect the football. You're going to see really everybody get into the backfield. Got a 2-yard loss on that play.
And just letting that clock tick. Nursing his 7-point lead. Down to 5 minutes left in this game. Nwangu is checked in the backfield. He's got it now, and that one is blown up behind the line of scrimmage.
And Matt Jones on the tackle there. Boy, this Baylor team, this is nothing to them. They were down 30-0 a week ago against TCU. Nothing for them to stay in the game emotionally, especially, I think, on that defensive side of the ball. They've been playing so well defensively, even without their leader, Terrell Bernard, who's out with an injury in this game. These guys have it dialed up right now, and they want to get a win like this, an opportunity.
Purdy looking, and throws that one away. So big stop by the Baylor Bears.
King almost able to get to Purdy on that one. Started doing an army crawl on the ground right there. He's one of those guys just pops off a film.
Ebner standing at his own 10. That one went off the side of his foot. Not a good punt at all for Iowa State. 7-point lead for the Cyclones. 4 minutes left in this game. 17th ranked Iowa State with just a 7-point lead over Baylor, who will have the football. Let's take a look at our Ram Power Players. It's brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. And how about Brock Purdy? Disastrous first.
Hey, you start that way, that's okay. Look at that. 0-3, 3-0. You take that. You know, again, the quarterbacks have to have a short memory. You make your mistakes, and you move on. And Brees doing Brees kind of things. So much fun watching him run.
And you see those two. Brees Hall, career high in carries. Brock Purdy with 3 touchdowns here in the second half. But Charlie Brewer has been the magic man in fourth quarters.
Yes,
He's
sir.
got 6 career fourth quarter in overtime comeback wins.
And tied the West Virginia game at the end. They lost it in overtime.
Does he have the magic here in Ames? Ebner, he just went 58 yards. That's a first down. Hasheem Young makes the stop.
Boy, good job by Brewer on that one. They brought the corner blitz. He was able to get that ball out just in time.
That's an 11-yard pickup.
That's what you want out of your quarterback. You recognize things like that. You know that you may be taking a pop in the chops. Stay calm in there and deliver a good ball.
Ebner splits out. They go 5 wide now. And that one's complete. Gavin Holmes, 4-yard pickup for Baylor.
Dangerous throw right there. Anthony Johnson with a good break on that ball. Got there just in time. Could have knocked that one away. He gets there a step earlier. That one could have been picked. Nice job. Charlie Brewer trusts his arm. Some people say he's lost his strength. He knows he hasn't.
3 minutes left in the game. Brewer. And that one's complete. Terry makes the catch.
But nice job. Nice job by Terry recognizing that Brewer needed him to stay alive on that one. Extends, and they just love this kid. He's just a freshman. Made some plays a week ago against TCU. He extends up, catches that one cleanly with his hands. That thing was not an easy catch.
He's just a redshirt freshman out of Philly. Ebner releases. Brewer throws it away.
I expect one of these times when he's emptied out like that, and again, you see a 3-man front from this Iowa State defense, and Charlie Brewer's legs are going to be a part of this story before this game is over.
Second and 10. Brewer. He's going to take off. Across midfield. You called it.
Well, and notice at the end of this run, what he doesn't do, he doesn't go on the slide. Remember, the ball is called dead. Where a quarterback comes to take a slide, he cuts back inside of Vance and then dives head first, so he doesn't lose those few yards. Nice job at the end of that one by Brewer.
Here's the freshman. Wallen Jones. Under 2 minutes. And the clock is ticking. Baylor with 2 timeouts. As defense coordinator for Iowa State, Coach Econ. 2nd and 5. Down the sideline, got a man open. Oh, R.J. Steve. They say out of bounds. If you could have put that one on the money.
He's got to keep that one lower. He keeps that, well, this is still going to be close. He got this with the one hand. It looks like the bodies, he may have control. They need to bring in the expert on this one because I think this one's going to be reviewed because a body part hits other than the hand or foot in bounds. Looks like he may have control of the ball with the shoulder coming down. Get the bat phone to the dean.
Oh, that we need the dean on this one.
Does he have control, though, at that point? It's really close.
See Scott Campbell there taking a look.
Clear and convincing. He definitely pulls that thing in, and the body part hits it. To me, it looks like a catch, but I'm going to defer to the dean.
Well, let's bring him in. What do you think here, Mr. Blandino?
I like that, Mr. Blandino. That's very formal. It's not a nickname. I appreciate that. This one's really close, and again, it's any body part, and you're going to see it's the back. It looks like that the back of the receiver is going to hit the ground inbounds, and then the helmet hits out of bounds. The question's going to be control. Does he have firm control before that helmet hits out of bounds. It looks like a catch. I think it's a catch. It's really, really close.
And so is there enough to over? Because
This is going to be the best look right here.
They said no catch, so they'll have to overrule this, right?
Exactly, and that's going to be the key, and that was your best look. It looks like his back is going to hit inbounds, but does he have firm control at that point?
Hey, Dean, is there a visual key that defines the threshold of firm control in a play like this, where it looks like we have a clear view of the ball and it doesn't change, it doesn't shift at all after he gets that second hand on it? Is that enough to be clear and convincing evidence?
Yeah, you're looking, is the ball moving or is it loose? Because the ball can move within a receiver's control. Does he have a firm grip on it? Could just be one hand, could be pinned up against his body. And again, this is your best look. Doesn't have control yet. And now when he gets that second hand on it and almost pins it up against his leg, is that firm control before that helmet hits out of bounds? That's going to be the key to this review. And again, the ruling on the field was incomplete, so it has to be definitive to overturn.
What's the call, Dean? Yes or no? They're going to overturn it?
You know, I lean stands because I really want it to jump out, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to sit firmly right on the fence.
You only get one vote. You can't vote twice.
Wait, voting? Something with voting happened this week?
I think I heard something on one of the networks. I can't remember. It was somewhere.
Wow, and they're taking their time, too. Look at you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they say the 2 minutes, but that's a guideline, not a hard rule. And, you know, what is firm control? It seems to be subjective. And, you know, I think Dean's point that it was called incomplete on the field, very important in this.
It was 3rd and 5 for Baylor.
After review, the receiver caught the ball at the 17-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10.
Dean, so they were kind of what you said you would kind of want to lean towards a catch.
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, and
that's not what he said. He wanted it to leap out. He was leaning the other way. That's what happens when you sit on fences.
I was on the catch side of the fence. I was just leaning this way just a little bit. And again, it's subjective. Control is subjective. It has to jump out. Obviously, the replay official felt that there was enough evidence to overturn. Again, you really want to see it jump out to change a ball like that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Dean. Have a great night.
So,
I should say, we're not saying goodbye to you yet.
1st and 10, 24-yard pickup for Baylor. They're in business in the red zone from the 17. A minute 15 left in this game. R.J. Sneed in the slot. And then Ebner.
And remember the last time on the touchdown, Ebner, out of the same formation, broke to the outside and then back inside on the angle. This time they bring him to the inside, and he goes back outside. So they're able to make the completion on that one, and that's one of those plays that you package. You try and make it look like something else. That time they gave a different look, able to get a few yards at least on 1st down.
Sneed at the top of your screen. Brewer looking to the end zone. Intercepted by Mike Rose. He has started every game of his career. The best active streak on the team, and Rose comes up with a huge interception for the Cyclones.
A great play from Mike Rose, but a poor throw by Charlie Brewer. Just not enough elevation on that ball. Had a receiver at the back of the end zone. Just doesn't get this one up enough. That was Ebner.
And he was looking for Sneed, and Charlie knew it. Second turnover for Baylor. You know, we had 6 turnovers in this football game. Yeah. And Baylor, the team with just 2 of them,
well,
they come out with an L.
Yeah, normally you say the team that wins the turnover battle is going to win the game, but that's obviously not always the case. But, boy, what a game. So many turns and emotion. And that's the great part about college football. I mean, here we are, quarter capacity place, a place obviously we've seen completely full and raucous. You're going to see Rose here in the slot, and a lot of times what happens is quarterbacks lose vision on underneath players like that. They see where they are at the snap, and they're just waiting to see if their receiver is going to break open. Rose does a nice job falling back towards the middle of the field there. Never gets into Charlie Brewer's sight, and that's, hey, it's why it's the most difficult position in any sport, and why quarterbacks can struggle so much. It's not easy to do, to track all those players.
Coach Heacock said, when we talked about defensively, he said, Mike Rose has been playing extremely well for us, probably the best right now, and he comes up with the biggest play of the game.
Ball start, number 55, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And he's from Ohio.
That's Cleveland area. Huge win coming up here for Matt Campbell and his Cyclones, and you see they've got Kansas State, Texas, and then West Virginia. And for Baylor, Tech, State, Oklahoma, just murderous row for them. Here's Breece Hall. Get to that outside. Baylor, I'm sure, will use that timeout.
30 seconds.
And for the Cyclones, you know, listen, we talked about this. Let's get another look here. Mike Rose. As well, but he did not see Mike Rose. That will seal it. You know, look, for the Cyclones, they hold on here. They go 5-1. This program has never been 5-1 in the conference, so that could be a first for them. And as Coach Campbell said, now these guys believe.
Absolutely.
They believe that they can win the conference.
They believe, and there are a lot of recruits out there that believe in Iowa State, what Matt Campbell does. And of course, you know, there are professional organizations in football that believe in what Matt Campbell does and tried to lure him away from Ames, and they re-upped. This isn't over. Stop the clock here one more time.
Here's Breece Hall.
That seemed to be an early whistle.
I'm sure Baylor will use that last timeout.
Last of the half. Full timeout.
So Iowa State will have to punt this football, won't it? Third down. Third down.
Make him snap it again.
And Charlie Brewer, 22 of 33, 295, 3 touchdown passes, and 2 interceptions. Tough ending. Kid who's been really heart and soul of this program the last 4 years.
And he'll be back.
Yep.
And this Baylor team will be back. Obviously, they benefited from having the turnovers, able to build a lead. Saw Iowa State fight back into this one, score what, 28 unanswered. But they didn't fold, just like they didn't fold against TCU last week. They had an opportunity there to drive down and tie the ball game. Maybe even win it with a 2-point conversion. You never know.
So Baylor has now lost 14 straight against ranked opponents. Charlie Brewer goes to 0-9 against ranked opponents. And Matt Campbell And his Cyclones still sit atop the Big 12 standings, 5-1 for the first time in program history in the conference.
And Sweet Caroline getting ready to play here in Ames.
It says a lot about how they responded after being their own worst enemy at the very beginning of this game.
Yeah, and I think, again, we heard Matt Campbell talking about the self-reflection that this team had during the lockdown times and the isolation times. Guys kind of looked at themselves and want to be the best version of yourself, the best version of yourself. What does it take to win? We don't know at the beginning, but we never stop, never quit.
Well, for Robert Smith, I'm Brian Custer. Let's send it back to Los Angeles and honeymooning